everybody, it's Anna. Time for our final card in this week's tarot story. So we close the week with the Six of Wands. So as I said for the Wednesday card, when we have the Two of Wands, Wands is connected to the element of fire and is about feeling invigorated and impassioned and inspired. And 6 is the number for balance or integrity. So the image shows a fella coming back from some conquest. He's got a wreath, so he was clearly a victor. And he's surrounded by people who are celebrating him, excited he's coming back, and patting him on the back for what he did. So I see this card as sort of coming into a harmonious community, a community that sees how amazing you are, is cheering you on, is supporting you, so you feel like you're receiving that sort of adulation and that feeling of support and energetic investment from other people. And I think this is a really interesting card for this week's tarot story, because yesterday we had death. And we talked about how the death card is about, in my belief, is about, getting rid of an old tyrant, an old tyranny in ourselves who's been our authority, kind of telling us what we had to do, what we couldn't do, that kind of thing. And also we have the Two of Wands, right? And I talked about how the Two of Wands is about taking the time to let our passion sort of root into ourselves, which means we're being still. While we're letting our passion grow, we're not taking action steps, which can be troubling to the mind because the mind doesn't always understand why we have these pauses in our spiritual journey. And also, if we're talking with the mind in the with the death card, we can even say the mind has a tyrant within itself that is telling us we can't rest. If we rest, we're being selfish, we're being harmful, we're wasting time. All of those things that we have learned somewhere, the mind's picked up somewhere along the way, and it's an outward voice of authority that's actually working against us because it's making us take action where we need to be resting, and so we're creating an unsustainable manifestation. So one thing the mind tends to do, the dictator in the mind tends to do, especially when we are challenging old systems like you can never rest, that belief that if you're resting, you're being selfish. What the mind will tend to do in the dictator position is to say, well, if I do rest, if I stop moving, if I do take care of myself, that other person is not going to love me anymore. Like that's all they value about me. And this happens a lot with my clients where they're afraid if they make changes, they start shifting their investment into times of rest or self-investment, or start following their path of faith, that their families, their partners are going to be harmed for one thing, and then are going to resent them. Now, unless you are truly, truly partnered with not very normal humans, which is rare, people are usually just living inside the patterns that we have helped co-create, right? And as you shift out of the patterns, people who love you, and most people do love us, they just don't understand us, right? But as you grow more understanding of your own patterns and feel more committed to your own fire and your own passion, the people around you might be a little befuddled, maybe a little confused, but they get excited to see you become more and more you because they actually love you. Like I look at my own parents who are very linear people, and like I do know that they don't get me. I do know that they're like, where is she coming from? What is she talking about? Nonetheless, as I am becoming more and more stable and expansive and happy in my own path, I can see them going, okay, well, she's happy. That's really what they want from me, for me. And I think this card reminds us that there are so many more people on our side than we realize. And the fear our mind has, which tells us everybody's going to abandon us, everybody's going to hate us, everybody's going to punish us, if we shift, if we commit more to our spiritual heartbeat, which is the rest, the move, the rest, the move, the rest. If we stop investing in everybody, they're going to start hating us, I think is a scare tactic the tyrant uses to try to hold on. And we have to look that square in the face and say, let's say that other people are not going to support us. If they're not going to support us, then maybe it's okay to let them go. But very likely, most of them are going to support us. And they'll even join us in the journey, join us in the celebration, because they actually don't love you for how much you invest in them, how much you sacrifice for them. They actually love you because you are magical, and they see that. And the more magical you are, the more they can celebrate you. That's our final card. See you next time. Bye.